Hey guys, it's Andy. The date today is January 27th, 2010, and today Apple released the iPad, which has been rumored for about a decade now, and it finally came out today, and I'm just going to tell you some specs on it, what I like and don't like about it, and just stuff like that. Alright, so starting it off, it is only a half-inch thin. It weighs in at only 1.5 pounds. It's incredibly thin. I was watching the video on live.twit.tv, and it was pretty thin, let me tell you. It has a 9.7-inch LED backlit display. It's very nice display. And you can obviously watch videos, whatever you want to watch on it, stuff like that. The storage, it comes in 6 different flavors, and it's got 16, 32, and 64 gigabyte capacities. It's got a full on-screen keyboard, which is very nice. It might seem kind of weird because you're typing on a flat surface, so that is kind of weird. It's not like a laptop or a netbook or a desktop or anything like that, where you're actually typing and you're looking up. You're actually looking down, so that can be kind of strange. It runs Apple A4 chip, which was built by Apple. It's their own chip, obviously. It supports Bluetooth 2.1. It's got 802.11n wireless. It's got a speaker, microphone, 30-pin connector, which is the same thing that the iPhone and iPads use. It's got a 10-hour battery, which is just phenomenal. The iPod Touch has, for a 3.5-inch screen, that's 30 hours to listen to music just straight, though, if I wanted to. So, the screen on the iPad is like 3 times the size of that, and so it's got, if the iPod was 3 times the size, the screen, it'd be 10 hours, so they built it how it should be built, if that makes any sense. It's got a 30-day standby time. It runs all iPod Touch and iPhone apps that launch when it comes out in 60 days, but there will be apps that are specific for the iPad. There was this application called iBooks that was released today as well. It's Apple's third store that they have introduced to its, I guess you would call it, portable devices. The first being obviously iTunes and the App Store, which has over 3 billion downloads as to date. And now they have the iBook store. It has a very, very colorful interface, and the books, they have signed up with some pretty up on the scale publishers, and they will be starting at $4.99 and up. Sorry if I keep looking down here. I obviously can't remember all this in my head. Okay, and there will be also a new version of iWork available specifically for the iPad, and each app will be $9.99. That's obviously Pages, Keynote, and Numbers. And okay, it's got 3G capabilities. If you want it though, it'll be through AT&T. It'll cost $29.99 a month for unlimited megabytes usage, and $14.99 a month for 250 gigabytes megabyte usage. The nice thing about it though is that it's not on a contract, so you can end it whenever you want. If you have a Verizon MiFi, the little thing that can give up to 5 computers or devices the Wi-Fi, you obviously wouldn't need the 3G capabilities, so it wouldn't cost you anything, and we'll get to that later. It'll be unlocked, so if you have a Verizon, you can get a micro SIM card from Verizon and pop it into the iPad and pay Verizon the standard rates if you do want to still use 3G and you don't have a MiFi or something like that. There's going to be 6 different versions available, as I've already said. The 16 and 32 are gigabyte, or 64 gigabyte with 3G capability and Wi-Fi, or get the 16, 32, or 64 gigabyte with only Wi-Fi. So if you're thinking that you'd have to pay each month to have the iPad, that's certainly not the case, as I've kind of already mentioned so far. And the 16 gigabyte with just the Wi-Fi is going to cost you $4.99. The 32 gigabyte will cost you $5.99, and the 64 gigabyte with only Wi-Fi will cost you $6.99. And now the 16 gigabyte with the 3G and Wi-Fi is going to cost you $6.29, so it's only $30 more. The 32 gigabyte with the 3G and Wi-Fi is going to cost you $729, and the 34 gigabyte with the 3G is going to cost you $829. So they're only $30 more, and they will ship in 60 days the Wi-Fi. And if you want the ones with the 3G built in, that'll take 30 more days, so it'll be a total of 90 days. And they did release some accessories as well. They have a keyboard with a dock that the iPod slips into and it charges as well. And they also released a case, and it can flip and you can prop it up on that and type on it. So it's kind of props it up. Okay, so those are just most of the specs on it. It's very, very nice design. I'm excited for the iPad. I think that Apple has done it again with the iPad, just as they did with the iPhone and the iPods. And it'll be really interesting to see what happens to it, how it takes off. I like that there is no contract for the 3G compatibilities, but with that said, I wish it would have been more of an OS X layout instead of an iPhone layout. That's probably the biggest flaw that I think I really don't like about the iPad. I mean, the buttons, or the icons, they just seem so separated, and it's just kind of weird looking. I wish it would have been more like a Mac layout where there's a dock that you just have on the bottom of the screen. And I also like that it's got iPod built in. Apple said it's the, let me just bring it up here, sorry for the delay. Apple calls it our most advanced technology and a magical and revolutionary device at an unbelievable price. So, yeah, as I said before, it starts at $499, and it's got multi-touch. It's supposed to be one of the best picture viewers that it's come out with for the iPad. That's so weird. And it's supposed to be one of the best web viewing interfaces of all time too. Photos, I mean, it's just got kind of the same thing as iPhoto, events laid out just like that. Double click to open it. And video, it's the large high resolution screen makes the iPad perfect for watching any kind of video, from high definition movies to TV shows, to podcasts and music videos. You can easily watch movies between widescreen and full screen with a double tap, and because it's essentially one big screen with no buttons or anything to distract you, the picture fills your line of sight, so you completely feel immersed in what you're watching. Now, with that said again, I do think that this is kind of like basically a book. I don't know how to say that without trying to rip on Apple, because I love Apple, don't get me wrong, I'm basically a fanboy and whatnot, but yeah, it's a really nice device. That's probably the biggest thing easily the biggest thing I don't like about it is the fact that it has more of an iPod Touch iPhone layout instead of a 9.7-inch computer, which it's supposed to be. Now, in saying this, I hope I didn't offend anybody, because I do really like what they've come out with. Maybe I'll be getting one, maybe not. I'll have to get my hands on one first. But until that time, thanks for watching. Be sure to follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/Apple_kills_PCS. Alright guys, I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.